What's good, guys? M.V.K here, back again. How's everybody doing on their end? Back again for another Patreon request. And today, on this Patreon request, guys, I'm here to deliver another one of the Yin and Yang Lads request. Yin and Yang Lad is a beta level member. Guys, you know, at beta level, you are able to request 4 videos. No matter what they are, I will do them, post them here and on Patreon. And today, you asked me, you had 2 what if questions, and I'm going to go with, I'll save the other one for another time, but this one seems fairly easy. So here we go. The question is, what if Iron Man was in the DC universe? All right. What if Iron Man was in the DC universe? Never existed in the Marvel universe. He was a creation of DC for DC. Okay. So let's look at that. Let's look at that for a second. First and foremost, he would still be a weapons dealer, a warmonger in a sense. Okay. Let's say everything still happened to him. He got caught, and we're also saying that his rogues gallery is still, so we're saying that kind of stuff, but in general, I feel that if he was in the DC universe, I feel that he would still be a weapons, he would still be trading weapons more, a little bit longer than he would have done before. Him becoming Iron Man would be a little bit more of an ego boost in his general. But I would really have where Tony would suffer from PTSD, serious PTSD, because he was a prisoner of war and things like that. So that's playing up a whole huge role in him. So he wouldn't really have the Avengers to fall on. Remember that. So him becoming Iron Man, in a sense, for me, would be more of a crutch, and for him, more of a defense mechanism, so people don't see Tony Stark. So I would really have it where, yeah, he's very broken in the DC universe. Until, yes, I would have him until he has a really firm talk with I would have it where he's being interviewed by not Lois Lane but by Clark Kent, and he starts going on a tirade about, Clark is asking him, so Iron Man protects you, he is your bodyguard. And Tony's like, yeah, he's my bodyguard and things like that. Yeah, he protects me. And Clark is more like, are you really okay, Mr. Stark? Because you went through quite an ordeal, and nobody truly bounces back from it. Even soldiers suffer from what you have, and I know the signs. And I would have it where he's cutting Clark off. Like, I don't have that. He's arguing over it, and he leaves the interviews like, I'm done. I'm not dealing with this. So it is there where he has that. He would definitely have a rivalry with he would have a straight off rivalry with Lex Luthor right off the bat. That's for sure. He would have a straight rivalry with Lex. Lex is like, well, you come work for me, and work at LexCorp, give me some of your, and he's like, no, I'm not, and I look at it from a point of view for Tony is, it's not only just, but it's more of him looking at Lex and be like, I don't want to be anything like that guy. cold-hearted, very arrogant. Doesn't use his money for to help to benefit anybody. He would look at everything Lex is doing and be the most. That would be his anti. I gotta get help. Then of course him talking to Superman would help, and that is where the Tony, in the sense that we start to see, he's Iron Man, but now he's not using the suit or the suits, because he is always upgrading them as a defense to keep people from getting too close to him. That would definitely be a part of it, in a sense. I would have it where Rhodey, because if I'm putting Iron Man, then I'm bringing his whole supporting cast. Rhodey and John Stewart would have not worked, but they would have known each other. But they're different branches of military. But yeah, I would have it where they known each other. But over time, yes, it would be. It's more about Lex trying to use corporate sabotage to get the secret of the arc reactor and things like that. Because as smart as Lex is, I don't think he would truly understand how that works and everything like that. And he would use a lot of corporate espionage to get secrets. So that's how I would go with it. I would also have Tony be the one to not kind of give John Henry Irons incentive to do what he did with the steel armor. Wouldn't say he told him about it. No, he kind of little inspired him, but of course, John Henry Irons is inspired by Superman to a degree. So yes, that's definitely some of the things. So I would have it where him becoming Iron Man is more of a serious crutch and defense if he was in the DC universe. So certain things like Demon in a Bottle would still have happened, where he is almost a flaming alcoholic. I would go really dark and grim with Tony in the DC universe. He was in the DC universe, but also see him be an advocate for getting out of that. I would have him join. He would be asked to join the Justice League, and knowing that, and I would have it where not only does he have a rivalry with he would have a serious rivalry with Lex, but I wouldn't say he has so much of a serious rivalry with Bruce Wayne. But I would have it where Bruce is already discovered that, yeah, and I feel like that would be it. Bruce would discover, yeah, Iron Man and Tony are the same person. But I definitely would have it where they're not chummy buddies. They're like oh, you're my buddy. No, they're almost keep their eyes at a distance. Like, yeah, I'm all right, but he would never like to be wrong if he found out like Bruce to do something better than him in terms of his skills and his intelligence, and so it'd be similar like that. But yeah, like I said, everything. I would only bring 2 villains from Iron Man's Rogues Gallery into for with him if he was in DC. The Mandarin, of course, and believe it or not, Living Laser, not the Ghost, not Titanium Man or Crimson Dynamo. None of those characters. And of course, like, he would be, Lex and him would be going at it all the time, and I would have it where Lex would discover, who Iron Man really is. And I think he would use that. That would be like his ultimatum, like, I'll tell everybody who you are and things like that. So it'd always be a back and forth with Lex and Tony. But yeah, that's some of the things that I would do if Tony Stark, Iron Man was in the DC universe. Those are some of the things I would do. I think he would be somewhat the same, but also I think not somewhat the same, because because if you look at with him in the Marvel universe, Steve Rogers helped him a lot. So you need someone like that. And I'm not saying that Clark couldn't be that version, that kind of help for him, but I think also he would see Clark as something like, you're too much of a Boy Scout. Like, I don't trust you. I really don't trust you. You may come off, but I see right through that big Boy Scout thing. You got an ego on you is bigger than mine. So those would be some of the things. So it would more come down to him being more acknowledged as kind of a crutch. Like when he, and I would have it where, yes, Bruce even deduces that, like, you don't wear that armor really to help. You wear it because you're afraid. You're afraid to let people see you as being vulnerable. That's why you won't even acknowledge that you have, ever since you were captured and held hostage and forced to create this armor, you don't even want to, you can't even say the word. And I would really have that where Tony can't even say the word PTSD. He won't even acknowledge that he has it. Every time somebody brings it up, he just goes on to the next question, like next question, things like that. So yes, that is how, if Iron Man was in the DC universe, those are some of the key elements to his character. Yes, would he become Iron Man? Yes, but it would be more for the different reasons this time around than how it was captured in the Marvel universe. That's how I would do it. So you guys tell me in the comment section below, what do you think about that? What if Iron Man was in the DC universe? What are your opinions? How different would he be from he's a Marvel character? How different would his origin? How different would his origin? How would you do it? Would his origin be different? Would he be more of an asshole and a jerk and an egotistical dick in the DC universe compared to how he is in the Marvel universe? Like I said before, I would have him joining the Avengers sometime later, but more on a cusp, because he's kind of full of himself and he thinks, the premier team is now coming to me for assistance and I can bring my own tools of the trade to it, things like that. But yes, that's how I would do Iron Man in the DC universe. Thank you, Yin and Yang Lad, for the request. I look forward to doing your last two. I know one of them has to do with your last two has to do with my top 10 favorite Street Fighter themes, and what if, and there's another what if Tim Drake was in the Marvel universe. I'll save that one for last because I got a lot to talk about with that one. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give the video a like up and also comment in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys next time. As always, deuces.